What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven. Happy Gwensday, and today I am here to show off my diamond hands, and we are going to hang on to this knighthood for the entire game. We're going to see if we can go through one without knighthooding anything, and that wasn't the initial plan, but at some point it just seemed like it might be a reality. So we're going to start by picking up a Humpty Dumpty, which is a great way to start off a game of Storybook Brawl, and we're going to lock onto our shop just because it has 4 glory in it, and I feel like with this Baby Root plus Humpty Dumpty, we'll definitely be able to win whatever happens in this next combat. I am a little bit nervous because we are up against a Share Bear, but I gotta hope a 7-10 can pull through. And there's an interesting decision to be made here, but with 2 Polywoggles in the shop, I think that we've got 2 pretty decent chances of finding something sweet to knighthood in the future. So the plan here is to pick up some Polywoggles over the next few turns and then potentially knighthood, because I didn't go into this game thinking I was going to diamond hands this knighthood all the way to the finale, but that is what wound up happening. And I guess, yeah, I'm spoiling it in the title. And part of the reason for that is we roll into a 3rd Polywoggle, which is definitely going to reduce the need to knighthood Polywoggle, because we can sell this kitty cup purse and just immediately pick up this Polywoggle pair right here. And when we triple it, we also get to take a Crown of Atlas to give the Polywoggles +1/+1. That could also help them slay. And then I'm going to move the Polywoggles into the 2nd position. At this point, probably should have just knighthooded the Humpty Dumpty on turn 1. At this point, it feels a little bit less useful to do so, but I still could. It could still be interesting, but we are not going to go for that. I think that we're strong enough here without it, and I'm even going to go for a Polywoggle in the 1st position because of how I'm pretty sure the mechanics of this break out. I think actually the Polywoggle doesn't get to slay, so that's pretty crazy, and then we're going to lose our Humpty Dumpty. We would have not been able to keep it if we would have been able to keep it if we had knighthooded. So a little bit unfortunate, but there is a replacement Humpty Dumpty in the shop here for us, and this is an interesting shop. We get to pick up a stag, which can help us pump up the Polywoggle. That could be pretty sweet. And then we also have this candy rain in the shop too, and I think that there is a legitimate case to be made for knighthooding this stag right here. But when we have the candy rain as well, I just feel like I need to do it that much less. And we could also knighthood the lucky. That would also be a reasonable thing. But I think it's also reasonable to just sell the baby root, pick up the lucky, and then cast the candy rain. I think that that's going to give us 3 reasonably strong units. The stag is also getting +1/+1 from the Crown Atlas, so it's pretty good. It is unfortunately going to go down to my opponent's Polywoggle, and then I'm going to fail to slay. We take 8 damage here, down to 28, not super great. We are down near the bottom half of the lobby, so don't love that. But we are going to be able to pick up 2 good witches right now, plus a black cat. That's going to make us pretty strong. And then we also could potentially knighthood right now. We could knighthood on the stag. That's definitely a consideration, but I'm not going to go for it either. I am just going to stay the course here and see what we can do. I think if the stag was like pumping the Polywoggle, if the lucky was a good unit, then maybe there would be a little bit more of an incentive to pump up the stag. But I think that we're strong enough for right now, despite being at 28 health. I actually do feel like we've got a pretty strong board because our stag will be giving its bonus to 2 units behind it, with the fact that it's got +6 health. It's got pretty high survivability, so it's going to give us a pretty strong board here. Unfortunately, we do not slay with the Polywoggle, but we do walk away with a win. 9 damage on this the Fallen here, and yeah, just need to find some time to slay with this Polywoggle at some point. We do get to pick up some nice units here. We get to pick up another stag and then a donkey. So we've got a pretty solid board going on this turn, and then I'll roll and find a third copy of stag. So there we go. Reasonable that I did not knighthood it, but we are also on 3.2. Is really important to consider right now, and the reason that is important is because we don't actually really want to Polywoggle right now, because next turn we'll be able to potentially slay with Polywoggle and get an upgraded tier 5 unit, and that could potentially let us do some powerful stuff. So do have to consider what I want out of this one. Helm with the donkey is kind of cute. It's a little bit awkward to put the donkey in the first position, but at least for right now, this is going to be fine, and there's some other fine stuff that we can do down the line. Do have to decide if we want to play Polywoggle as just a 3/3. I think it's probably fine to play it because the donkey's going to summon, though. That's right, the reason that I don't play it is I actually want 2 spots for the donkey to summon. And I feel like if I had played the Polywoggle, all that we would have done would have been not had one of those 2 things spawn. It's not like we would have had an additional 3/3 that could have given us any value. So winds up being a pretty good play to just play down 2 units because we've got a 20 health donkey, and that winds up being pretty strong enough. So we are going to get the win here up against Peter Pants, and we've still got Diamond Hands going now into tier 4. So we could use the knighthood on Heartwood Elder. That's something that I've done before on a video and a stream. It's also pretty good with the Haunted Helm. I'm at least going to pick up this Heartwood Elder and see what happens. Sorry, I blanked on the name of it for a second, but I'm at least going to pick up this Heartwood Elder, see what happens. If we can find some other sweet trees soon, then maybe it is worth it. I'll pick up another Black Cat, I feel like that's reasonable, and then also grab this Spinning Gold and then accidentally click my hero power and be reminded that I've got Gwen emotes that I've got to use. That is definitely part of the value of playing Gwen, is getting to use those cute emotes. So have to make sure that I start to use those. But for this combat, things are going to go well for us. We've got the stag that luckily did not get attacked by that 20 attack unit from Sadrak. And now we've got a 9/9 Polywoggle in the back. Will that be enough? Looks like it'll slay anything on my opponent's board. So that is going to be pretty sweet for us. That is going to get us an upgraded tier 5 unit finally, and it is a Wombats in disguise. So that is a pretty strong unit too, and will get us some wins, I think, and we're also going to wind up getting some gold from that, from the Spinning Gold. Then we also got some additional gold from the Greedy, and we took the Sadrak out too. So all of that's really good. We can put the Wombats in disguise in the Helm slot, and that winds up being really, really strong for us because that's going to mean that it gives the thing that it summons plus 44 health. So pretty great stuff there. I'm going to Mix-a-Wizzle the Wombats into a Ashwood Elm. And here's where you can kind of see, like, knighthood would have been great if we could have just knighthooded this Ashwood Elm. That is a really cool trick if you don't already know about that, but you can Polywoggle, then you can knighthood, and then you'll keep whatever you Polywoggled into as an upgraded unit. And it's generally a pretty sweet strategy. It also would have been sweet if it turned into a good unit. We could have sharded it here, but unfortunately this Ashwood Elm is just going to go away at the end of the turn. There is one kind of saving grace that we do have, and that is the fact that sometimes these Mix-a-Wizzles and things, they've got some really weird RNG associated with them, and they wind up turning into the same thing more often than not. So that's kind of what I'm banking on this game, that we'll be able to True Love's Kiss this Wombats in disguise later on, and that it really just is an Ashwood Elm in disguise that maybe we'll get to keep. But It is going to make us pretty strong for this turn. Unfortunately, the RNG works out a little bit awkwardly, but we still have a huge Ashwood Elm that is going to be able to win the fight for us. So no harm, no foul. We will get to keep the Merlin's Test on it as well. We'll grab a tier 3 treasure, and we get to find a Merlin's Hat rather, and that will potentially allow us to purchase some XP, or yeah, I mean, really just XP. That's what we're going for here. We'll move the Good Witch back into position for the Wombats in Disguise. And that should be enough to win any of these combats anytime soon. So that's kind of the plan here. Would really love to have found like a True Love's Kiss this turn, but not going to be so lucky. So kind of just wind up rolling it down, not really doing too much. But I think the Wombats in Disguise should wind up winning any of these combats for us against whatever these opponents can throw at us. And then we'll be level 5, and then once we hit tier 5, then we'll maybe find something to knighthood. Diamond Hands, we're not going to do it. We're going to hang on to this knighthood for the rest of the game. It's basically like, how far can we go without a hero power? But I think it's even better than that, because our hero power right now is basically you have one less slot in your hand. And it's really just a drawback, so kind of silly. But the Wombats in Disguise are going to slowly trade with all of my opponent's support units in the back line, while my support units trade into their Wizard's Familiar, and then our Wombats in Disguise takes them out. We don't even need to show them what we've disguised here. Just a 1931 is going to be strong enough, and that does definitely make some sense. It's still a pretty strong unit for this stage of the game. We could have picked up like some copycats or something like that, but kind of just looking for sweet stuff from like burning trees or something like that, because we're so strong that I think we'll be able to easily transition into trees, easily treesition, if you will. We could skip here and pick up Lancelot. That's pretty tempting. Oh yeah, we have to do that, because Lancelot will immediately activate. +6 from the Good Witch, +10 from the Helm. That's good. We could also get rid of the crown for Ring of Rage. Okay, that's not the craziest thing either. And then we can sell both of these units that we currently have on the bench, pick up the lance, and grab a tier 5 treasure from that. I think that's going to be the play. We'll sell, yeah, this donkey and this black cat. That gives us a 25 health Lancelot, and we'll go for this for glory here as well. And we don't have to knighthood the Lancelot either. Lancelot is definitely something that I really enjoy knighthooding, because you almost immediately then are able to grab that tier 5 treasure. But if you can just activate the Lancelot without having to do any of that grunt work, well, that's pretty good too. We'll be able to grab a tier 5 treasure for free, and we'll have an upgraded Lancelot to begin with. So Diamond Hands, no reason to pivot here. We will just stay the course. And I think Wombats is finally going to carry us for a combat. Will that be our last unit left? Yeah, it looks like it will be. No, our Wombat isn't even... Oh, it will. It will to the Queen of Hearts. Queen just barely breaks it open, and we get a humongous vulture, but barely had to, like, it didn't need to be anything. We will be able to grab a tier 5 treasure here, and these aren't really the treasures that we are looking for, though we do have Evil Eye, and we've got some pretty solid supports right now to begin with. So I'm either going to toss this Ring of Rage, which I think is the toss, or I could have potentially tossed the Helm, but the Helm can actually do a lot for us if we decide to play trees. It's also just a lot of stats right now on the Lancelot. It powers up our biggest unit, so it's not too shabby. I'll go for a Wish Upon a Star because I do feel pretty strong, and when I see this Wombats in the shop, I then notice that I have another Wombats in my hand from the For Glory that we won last combat. So do a little bit more rolling, won't find anything, but win or lose, we're level 6 next turn, and that is pretty strong. We've been pretty strong this whole game, and that is with a negative hero power, so feeling pretty good about this. We do have a Horde Dragon in this lobby that is looking to play trees, so this could potentially be our main competition going forward, and I think we will definitely have to rely on the Wombats in Disguise for this one. We're going to get a baby dragon, and I think we are going to get a loss. So that's going to hit us for 9 damage, down to 20, but we're level 6. Win or lose, we did hit level 6 this turn, so now we just have to find some trees and potentially find something to knighthood at this point, unless we can come up with some additional reasons not to. Darkwood Creeper is fine because it's a tree. It'll give our burning tree some stats when we eventually go into it. And then we find a Hercules, and we do actually have a decent amount of cash right now with these golden chickens in our hand. So I'm going to sell both of these golden chickens and then play a 2842 Hercules, making good use of the doubled up Good Witch from the Evil Eye. So that Hercules has got a bunch of stats. It's got to connect 4 times, and then we'll have a tier 6 treasure. So hopefully that will be something sweet for us. And does look like we are going to be able to defeat this Peter Pants here. It's looking good for us. We're not going to get the Hercules treasure, but we are going to get the stag attack onto the Wombats, which I think should be enough to win. Yeah, looks like it will be. My opponent does have a 2565 Green Knight in the back, so that is at least something to consider. But yeah, we've got a 4646 Sporko, so that is going to take the cake and take out Peter Pants. And only halfway through this Hercules treasure, so if we had knighthooded it, it wouldn't have completed. That's really interesting to look at as well. We can go for a True Love's Kiss on either the Hercules or the Wombats in Disguise. We go for it on the Lancelot. That's what I meant to say. Lancelot or the Wombats in Disguise, and we wind up getting an upgraded Ashwood Elm. Okay, well, no reason to spend our knighthood this turn then, I suppose. We do have an interesting choice here to make. We could put the Ashwood Elm in the Helm slot, or we could give it double Heartwood Elder bonuses. That's pretty sweet too. So I am probably going to move some things around in the last second just to give Ashwood Elm as much bonus stats as we can give it. And do I Evil Eye the Hercules this game? I feel like I've brought this up in all of my videos in the past like 4 days. I can't remember if I do it or not because it keeps coming up in all of these games, and I can't remember in which one that I do it. Let's think. I think I do it in this one though. Looks like I'm not going to go for it. Okay. I go for it at the last second. No, I changed my mind. Okay, that was some nice drama there because I did not know which way I was going to go for it. Yeah, it's an interesting play either way. Interestingly too, I did not move the Ashwood Elm at the last second. I guess I did want some additional stats on the Creeper too, which is definitely reasonable. Does look like we might lose this combat because we only have one more tree to trade. It's going to be really close though, and my opponent is going to beat us with 1 minion left. So we drop down to 11, and we've got another True Love's Kiss in this shop, and that is the reason that we don't wind up using our knighthood this turn either. So basically, part of the reason that we have such diamond hands in this game is because I keep finding other excuses for not knighthooding, and kind of making some interesting decisions around that. I'll pick up another Heartwood Elder because we do have that doubled up support bonus. And then if I sell 4 things, I can grab a Echo Wood. Am I going to sell the pumpkin? I think I have to. With all of these doubled up supports, we are actually giving a pretty reasonable amount of stats to the Echo Wood. It's going to get, let's see, plus 8 plus 12. Yeah, it'll be a 20/20, which is fine. That's like the same size as our Hercules. Hercules also set up to give us our treasure this turn, so that'll be nice as well. Did I do the math right on that? Plus 8 plus 12. Oh no, it'll just be a 13/13 this Echo Wood. So nothing too crazy then. But I will start to move more stats onto the Ashwood Elm. Oh, and then of course it does also have like an incredible amount of attack as well. So that's the other reason that it's good. We're going to be getting that tier 6 treasure, and with my opponent's pretty pitiful back line. I think we're actually going to be taking this one. Oh, it's a tie. Okay, well, I'm fine with a tie. We're going to be getting a tier 6 treasure as well, and then we are going to be looking for some more sweet stuff. Wand of Weirding, kind of cool. I'm going to be casting a True Love's Kiss again this turn, so Wand of Weirding isn't super exciting, but we can still make do with it. It is awkward that we'd have to toss the hat, though. We could toss the Haunted Helm now that we've moved the Ashwood over. Okay, that's fine. And Wand of Weirding is going to be a reasonable unit for us just to have in the future. I will move the Echowood into the front line, so that way it's getting some use of this doubled support bonus. Flourish on Ashwood Elm in future turns would also be cool, and that is part of the reason that we also wind up holding on this Knighthood, is because now we've got so many other sweet reasons to cast spells, because any spell that we cast is going to be doubled up. I am going to strongly consider selling 2 things to pick up Ashwood Elm here. What would I have to sell? Would I sell the Creeper, or would I sell a support plus the pigs? I think I'm just going to lock this Ashwood Elm in the shop for this turn, but it's definitely worth considering for future turns, and I'll just pick up Labyrinth Minotaur and a Cindy, which Cindy will get completed somewhat quickly while we are double casting some stuff. So that's kind of the idea. This opponent has got the Burning Tree that we want, but hopefully we can pick that up. We do have a pretty strong lineup. My opponent has 1 ranged unit, but all of my units are going to be able to trade with theirs, and their units aren't even that strong either. So we're actually going to get away with a lot here. Pig attacks into Sporko, and we wind up dealing some nice damage to the lobby leader, and we're looking pretty okay. We get to pick up a second Ashwood Elm. We really just need a Burning Tree, and then we are fully comped out. And I could definitely see Knighthooding a Burning Tree. The thing is, at this point, we're just up against a ghost, and we've got the option to cast a Spinning Gold. So I feel like I have to do that too. Yeah, definitely a big reward here. I mean, we're going to win the battle against the ghost. That's kind of free. Might as well save this Knighthood for 1 more turn. I'm going to keep finding reasons not to cast it, though. We'll find some other sweet spells. I do kind of also want to work in this Darkwood Creeper. We could put in the Creeper over the Echowood, though at the same time, I don't want to get too greedy. I want to make sure that we at least win. So I think I am going to keep the Echowood in, and we'll see how we can do up against this ghost. And they've got some decent stuff, but it's not going to be anything crazy good, and no huge ranged units in the back either. So we will be able to clean it up with our trees, and it's going to give us 6 bonus gold for the turn. So not too shabby. And we're almost in the finals. How many more turns are there? Maybe 1-2 more turns. We pick up the triple of Heartwood Elder. That's pretty sweet, though nothing super exciting there. Let's just skip. We could take a Green Knight. We could also True Love's Kiss this pig, or we could just hold on to this Knighthood. So I'm going to not go for the True Love's Kiss there, because I think that I am probably going to wind up Knighthooding on this turn. I'll definitely grab an Ashwood Elm. That is really good stats for the current board. Now I'm really just rolling for Burning Trees. It would be really wise to Knighthood this Burning Tree here, but it would be really sweet to It Was All a Dream, flip the Cindy, get some sweet stuff. I'm going to sell off the units in my hand just in case I roll into Headless Horseman, which we do find. So Headless Horseman will steal 2 kidnaps, or grab 2 kidnaps. Unfortunately, we don't have enough slots in our hand to make use of all of it. I grab Noble Steed off of the Cinderella before realizing that we already completed Hercules this game. So I realized that pretty shortly after. What did I lose? The helm there? Merlin's hat, maybe? Yeah, I lost Merlin's hat. Not a huge deal. We'll figure it out. We gave Cindy +1/+1. Yeah, not going to be a huge deal, all things considered. This battle is really just going to come down to, does my opponent have enough ranged units? And they only have the 1, and we are obviously bigger than them for all other capacities after that. We hit my opponent for 11 again, this time down to 6, and we'll have to see if we can finish off the game. Knighthood on Burning Tree is definitely the best play, but I think one of the best uses... Oh, there's also Kidnap. Yeah, we could also go for Kidnap. They do have a bunch of trees, or we could also roll and try to find like a scam spell of some capacity, like a Pigomorph. And then there's also this Gigantify that we could just put on the Ashwood Elm. That would also be pretty big. That's a bunch of stats. That's plus 20 on the Burning Tree and the Echo Wood. Oh no, it's even more than that, because it gives plus 20 health. So that's giving plus 40 to the Burning Tree and the Echo Wood. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. So we go for that. We wind up rolling into a Burning Tree, and I cannot cast it because I don't have anything in my hand that I can sell. Although I can sell some of my supports. Okay. I think I realized that I just won't, I'd have to play down a unit if I did that, and that's just a little bit too risky. So not going to go for that. We do have to look over in the top corner. We were 53% to win, but there actually is a shot that we tie some of these combats, especially with my opponent's ranged unit, and then also the Rotten Applewood. These can definitely end in a tie, and this one's actually going to end in a loss for us. We'll end up taking 8 down to 3. Maybe it's time to use this Knighthood. For right now, let's pick up a Burning Tree. Let's see what else we can find, and we could Beauty's Influence and Ashwood. That would allow us to Evil Twin in Ashwood and get a tier 7 treasure, because we are playing Horde Dragon, and there's the Evil Twin, so a little bit awkward there. But I think we will just pick up this Echo Wood. That is really strong, selling off our support units, or stopping playing our support units, and then I'll rearrange my board a little bit to try to just not attack into Ashwood Elm, and try to figure out how we can configure around there, and then probably Knighthooding on a Burning Tree. No, I'm going to cast a Kidnap. Who am I kidding? Diamond Hands, we've made it this far. Let's not deviate, and we've got these huge Echo Woods. Those could be really good for us. The Ashwood is going to attack into us, and honestly, that's enough to win the combat. I was kind of confident with just the Echo Wood. With how close the last combat was, one additional Echo Wood would put us over the top, and we probably had something like, 100% to win that one, despite not even using the Knighthood. So there we go, Diamond Hands, how to hodl your Knighthood. Hopefully you guys had fun with that one. Happy Gwensday. That is going to be it for me for this one. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.